Good morning, children. Now that you have already read through the previous chapter, lesson number 2 in moral science, and that first portion has already been explained to you, let's move on to the second half of the lesson. Now, in the second half, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about prayer, Saint Chavra, and Mother Euphrasia. Now, coming on first, before I begin, let me explain to you what exactly is a prayer. And before that, let me talk about what is a conscience. Now, within every person, there is a voice within, a voice which has to be heard, a voice of God, a voice that speaks to us, guides us, tells us what is wrong, what is right, and so many good things. It's the voice of the God which has to be heard, but provided we focus on that. We have to focus on that, concentrate and listen to that inner voice which tries to speak to us. And this voice, this inner voice in every human being is called the conscience. Now, let me first talk what is a prayer. Prayer is simple. It's simple, a conversation between you and the God above. You may call him God, you may call him Ishwar, you may call him Allah. That is again your language. Like you talk to your parents, sometimes you talk in English, sometimes you talk in Hindi, sometimes in your mother tongue, Malayalam, Punjabi. It all depends on the kind of language you are using. The language which you are using with your parents is a language which is understood by you and by them. Same way, like when we talk to the Father above, to God, we might be praying with our hands folded together like this way, this way. Your wish, as you are comfortable. I believe whatever way you are comfortable, sit and talk to your God. Talk to the Father above. Get tuned. Get a connection with him. Like you listen to songs on the radio. So before you set when you want to listen to a particular station, you have to set that frequency. Any frequency. Only then you get connected to that particular radio station. It's the same way. Prayer is the same connection to God. You have to get connected to God. You like to close your eyes, you close your eyes. You like to open them, keep them open, keep them open. Whatever way you are comfortable, whichever language you are comfortable, you just sit and analyze. Talk. Listen to that inner voice. Get connected. Talk to God. Exchange. Feel gratitude. Pay gratitude. Ask for his help. Thank him. So many things. Whatever way you want to talk, you talk. And this talking to God is called a prayer. Simple. This is what prayer is. It's a conversation with God. Now, within the lesson, we also come across this story about a little girl, Priya, who is acting lazy before she goes to school. Now, her mother is waking her up. She asks her to get up, but Priya is pretending to be fast asleep. She doesn't want to go to school because she is feeling lazy. Now, when she is acting, some inner voice is speaking to her. That inner voice, the conscience. The conscience is telling her that no, Priya, this is wrong. You have to go to school. You are a student. Students have to go to school to learn, to study, to know the skills of life, to get knowledge, to get wisdom, to get prepared for the future. So the inner voice speaks to her, and soon Priya just discards her laziness and is all ready to go to school. When we read on further to this lesson, we come across two great saints, Saint Chavra and Mother Euphrasia. Saint Chavra inculcated a habit of praying right from his childhood. He used to watch his mother praying, and he developed a habit of praying. And then when he grew up, he became a priest at the age of 26. He dedicated his life to the service of mankind and surrendered teaching and passing on the virtues and in the service of God. Now, let me ask you all to turn to page number 10, where you just read along with me, where it is given in detail that Saint Kyriakos Elias Chavra was one such man. He speaks about his childhood. Every morning when my mother used to wake up to pray, I too joined her. Sitting on her lap, I repeated whichever prayer mother had said. When he grew up, he was able to sit for hours before God to talk to him. He tells everyone to pray. Saint Euphrasia, who is called as the praying mother, also says that the day without meditation is like nothing done. God knows everything about us even before we speak to Him. Let us inculcate a habit of speaking to Him like a friend. God, the only friend who can give us directions without any mistake. So children, God is not only your father, He is your friend also. Feel very free to talk to God. Like in the beginning I said, talk to Him in whichever way you want, whichever language you want. Consider Him as your best friend. Thank you, and I hope that you all are going to practice praying morning, evening, before your meals, before going to bed. So inculcate a habit of praying. So pray, keep praying for the goodness of everybody, for the goodness of everyone around you, and for this world, for the protection of this world. Stay safe, stay happy.